For those that don't know how hard you all work and the hours that you put in, I'm constantly up and down Buena Vista Road, so I see the cars, the number of cars and the number of hours you put in and the time that you actually go home. Sometimes you're there after everyone else is home. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being here. The proclamation reads, whereas the month of February is recognized across the nation as Black History Month, and whereas the Columbus Times Newspaper is celebrating Black women in American history and culture as its theme for Black History Month 2012. And whereas the Columbus Times Newspaper is the only woman-owned African American news media in the community and is a family business run by Mrs. Carol Gertrude, newspaper publisher. And whereas the newspaper's publisher emeritus is Mrs. Gertrude's mother, Dr. Ophelia DeVore Mitchell, who began her career in modeling and communications in New York City in the early 1940s, and worked as a newspaper columnist, newspaper publisher, TV show host, and consultant prior to her retirement. And whereas each week in February, the newspaper will focus on some of the great achievements of African American women, including those of Mayor Pro Tem Evelyn Turner Pugh and Mrs. Petra Gertrude Myrick's, editor of the Pulse Entertainment News section of the Columbus Times newspaper. And whereas the African American woman has long served as the backbone of the African American experience, marked by a long history of providing the support necessary for men, children, and families to achieve success while realizing her own professional and personal accomplishments. Now therefore, Teresa Pike Tomlinson, Mayor of Columbus, Georgia, do hereby proclaim the month of February 2012 as the Columbus Times Newspaper Black History Celebration Month.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Let's give them a round of applause. Carol, it's so good to see you. We'd like to hear from you and introduce those with you, please.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to introduce a young man that has roots here in Columbus, Georgia, but went to Cape Cod, Massachusetts, is a newspaper publisher and a book publisher, a promoter, a marketing man, an inspirational speaker. So we wanted Mr. Mark Person to give a few comments about the Columbus Times. Come on, Mark.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Well, it's an honor to be here. It's the first time I've been here. I was born and raised here in Alabama. My father's family is from Phoenix City. My parents, my mother family, of course, is from Columbus. So I'm very proud. It's the first time I've ever been in this building. I always looked at it and said, whoa, wow. I wonder how that would look. So I'm very honored to be in front of you guys. And, it's a pleasure to be taking photographs and doing some work with the Columbus Times. It's in my neighborhood, actually. I grew up in Winton. So, it's just weird how life works. I went into do a story because I do a lot of work for kids. I do a lot of different things out there. I'm a fine art photographer and different things like that. And they were so kind to me to give me that opportunity. And I'm very proud, actually, very proud being from Columbus. I've been away about 26 years. I come and see my folks, my family, I'm in and out. I don't really get to see my friends that often, but it's been a really honor. I covered the Martin Luther King event. Well, the Honorable Mayor was there, and it was an honor to do that. And then I covered Red Tails for these guys. So it's been a pleasure to do these things, and again, it's a pleasure to be here in front of all of you guys. And whatever I can do, I'm here for you guys. It's all about knowing where you're from. And if you know where you are from, you then know who you're going to be. And a lot of years, I never really acknowledged I was from, you just go, you leave, and you just say, wow. And people would ask, I'm from Atlanta, but now I am from Columbus. I'm proud to be from Columbus, and went to Columbus High School, 81. I played with Sam Mitchell. We were very good back in the day. And those experiences, and a lot of people helped me get here. It's just not about me. A lot of people in this community helped me get here in this particular point. And basically what I want to do is give back. And giving back through my art. I love to take photos and pictures and find the spirit of things and give it back to Columbus. So that's what I'm trying to set up here. I'll be leaving soon, but I will be coming back from time to time. And thank you guys so much. And again, it's such an honor to be here. Thank you.
I have Petra Gertrude-Myrick pass out something to the council members, and then followed by Dalen Quayle, who has something from Midtown Cakes, which is located, oh, Pops is ready for the whole package, followed by Ms. Carolyn Greer, who's president of the Ophelia DeVore Performing Company. Carolyn. And then we have Pastor and Mrs. Phillips, and they are with Stop the Violence. They're telling the young people to pull up the pants and stay away from the drugs. And we have Mrs. Lanya Jackson Sarden, who is over CCSC, Combined Communities of Southeast Columbus. Mrs. Beverly Hugel, who is like family to us, and she was an educator, Reese Road Elementary School, and Minister Sandra Tyler and her daughter, and you'll see more about her in the pages of the Columbus Times newspaper. And we're delighted to bring the history of African Americans to the community, to all the readers of the Columbus Times newspaper, because without the cooperation of the Caucasians, Hispanics, Native Americans, African Americans would really have a harder way to go. But because of what has happened today in 2012, we have the great theme of African American women, Black women in history and culture. And I hope you enjoyed the treat from Midtown Cakes, because the owners are Tanya Williams and Selcha Muniz.
Well, thank you. Did you want to, did everybody get introduced? Do you want to introduce them?
Oh, they're all quiet, okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I did introduce them. Madam Petra, come over here with the polls. Just tell why we have the polls. Come on, there's a lot of.
Well, you all have done a wonderful job in renovating and sprucing up that corner. The paint job looks wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
In the bakery, I just ordered a cake and a couple dozen brownies. So you guys are setting up the neighborhood. Yeah. You want to just, Petra, did you want to say anything?
Just want to say thank you and make sure that everybody takes time to recognize that African American history is also part of American history. So,
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Pops wanted to state, have a few comments, then we want to get everybody around to congratulate them.
Columbus is so fortunate to have so many good institutions. Columbus is really a fortunate place. And one of the great institutions, the Columbus Times newspaper. What I like about the Columbus Times newspaper is that it always prints the positive news of the community, what Columbus is doing on the breaking edge of, and especially in the African American community. It's an institution. It highlights all the individuals in the community that are contributing, from the African American community who are contributing to the totality of the Columbus community, the positive things. And I'm just thankful to be a part of the Columbus Times and the column, because I'm very proud. 90 years, correct me? 90 years in Columbus is a long time. And you're more than just a newspaper. You are truly, truly an institution.